It's been almost 2 weeks since the so-called Jihadi John was unmasked, and still little is known about the Islamic State's executioner identified as Mohammed Emwazi and his route to radicalization. For the first time, someone who knew Emwazi during his 3 years at university has come forward. The man, who doesn't want to be identified, said he's still in shock that the quiet man he knew at the University of Westminster has become the world's most notorious ISIS executioner and propagandist.
He was a very soft, well-spoken and tentative person. I'm gobsmacked, to tell the truth. I can't believe it's him.
Emwazi studied at the university from 2006 to 2009. Around the same time, the Islamic Society was criticised for allowing hate preachers to speak at its events. But the man who was involved with the society at the time insists Emwazi was not active in student politics and couldn't have been radicalised there.
I just want to say clearly that he was not radicalised at university. I was part of the Islamic Society, and as I said, all our speakers were vetted. We were well in touch with the SU, we were part of the university, we knew us very well. You know, we were informed that already beforehand our names were given to the MI5 and the security services, and we would no way allow radicalization to occur on our campus, as I categorically deny that ever took place. So to say he was radicalized on campus is a big misnomer, and I deny it.
The campaign group Cage, while condemning Mohammed Emwazi's actions, has consistently claimed that Britain's security services played a role in his path to violence. In recorded interviews with Cage in 2009 and released to Channel 4 News, Emwazi claims he was continually harassed by the security services after a trip to Tanzania. He was accused of trying to join Islamist militants in Somalia. Here, he recalls being interrogated at Dover.
How can I get treated like this, you know? I'm a British citizen, and my government is threatening me and throwing allegations towards me. So I just stood quiet, waiting for them to finish, and then as soon as they finished from checking my clothing and so forth, they just threw it at me and told me, all right, you can put your stuff back inside your bag, and off you go, mate.
Last week, Channel 4 News obtained exclusive footage of Mohammed Emwazi, which was filmed at Quinton Kynaston Community Academy. It showed a keen but camera-shy footballer. His head teacher at the time described him as quiet and caring, a boy who wasn't a concern for radicalization. Those that knew Emwazi here at the University of Westminster and earlier during his childhood insist that there were no signs of radicalization, raising the possibility it happened later. Emwazi is thought to have travelled to Syria around 2013, at a time when Brits were flocking to the conflict to defend civilians being slaughtered by the regime of Bashar al-Assad. The question is, could his transformation from fighter to Islamic State beheader have occurred after his arrival?
We've seen lots of cases of foreign fighters who've gone over with really quite idealistic aims at the start. They talk a lot about the civilians and wanting to help the people, and then over time they have changed so much that they're oppressing those very same people in whose defence they were claiming to act. And when I ask them about that in some of the interviews I've done, they say, we're not here to defend the people, we're here to impose the will of God.
But the man responsible for the murder of 6 Western hostages still hasn't responded to his unmasking. Until he does, we may never know how he went from the quiet young boy in West London to executioner for the Islamic State.